Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station, coming to you from the Nelson and Tasman region. In this week's news roundup, missing German tourist found in central Otago, feasibility gondola study positive, update on Brook Valley camp eviction, MP concerned at cut in migrant support services, and Prime Minister opens young parents' school. A German tourist previously reported as missing has been found safe and well in central Otago. New Zealand police have informed German authorities Anja Schultz has this week been located following widespread media coverage. Anja travelled through the North Island before boarding a ferry with a fellow traveller from Wellington to Picton on the 29th of January 2014. She has then continued her travel down the South Island over the past months. She was unaware that there were concerns for her safety and that police were looking for her, says Detective Sergeant Fran Moore of the Missing Persons Unit. New Zealand Police have expressed their appreciation to members of the public who provided information which has helped to find Anja so quickly. The recently released results of a feasibility study into a proposed gondola for Nelson were positive and could propel the project forward. There are two potential options on the table, a fast gondola which would cost around $8 million and a slower version at a cost of around $6 million. I spoke with former Mayor Aldo Miccio about the development. The results of a feasibility study shows the proposed 1.6 kilometre gondola from the Brook Valley to the top of Fringed Hill could well be a good idea for Nelson. And Aldo, you were fully supportive of the gondola project when you were mayor, and you and your colleagues approved the $15,000 grant to fund the gondola feasibility study. And the Nelson Lift Society of this week received the welcome news that the feasibility study has found the project to be sound in every way, engineering-wise, geologically, economically, etc. Why did you initially support this project?
Well, I guess the initial support came from probably, I think it was day 2 in the job as mayor, when the mountain bike club brought me up to the top of Fringe Hill and showed me the view from up there and sold me the pitch around a gondola and how good it would be. And the views up there are second to none across New Zealand. I mean, I'd go as far as say that they are better than the Queenstown gondola views. So it's a stunning project, would have a stunning impact on our region, and would be a great asset in terms of a visitor destination when people came here. So a $15,000 feasibility study was a small price to pay for a lot of work that had already been done, and so we were quite confidently that that would stack up both geotech and engineering. So the independent study proved that, which is fantastic news, and also the financial studies came through and sort of have shown and proven the case that was put forward that financially it will be very sound and actually has potential for private investment, because no funding has been asked for from council, and that was always the understanding. No funding to come through from council or central government, to be a private venture, and so now the numbers stack up, the engineering stacks up, and the geotech stacks up.
Meanwhile, Mainland intern Raj Agarwal headed out to ask the public for their views on the gondola concept.
What do you think about the proposed gondola project up in the Brook Valley?
Fantastic project. It should go ahead and we should all support it.
I think it's a waste of money, and Nelson ratepayers shouldn't have to foot any money for it at all.
I don't know if that's sounds like a necessary thing.
My point of view would be look at your cost benefit before you invest.
Meanwhile, intern Carly Danner asked Brook Valley campers about the latest on their eviction by council.
What do you think are the motives behind this eviction?
We've been told that we have to move out, and but at this point in time that they've put a stop to it, so we're not too sure what's going on at this point in time. But if I have to move out, I'll be homeless again, and that will really suck.
They're very cynical, and so we're becoming equally cynical, and we're believing very little of what we're told now.
Well, it's prime land, but they can't resell it because it was gifted to the city, to the people, and it was stipulated what it could be used for.
And they're considering putting a gondola up here. What are your thoughts on that?
Gondola in the forest? That's not natural It's definitely not natural. A gondola's for snow and stuff like that, not for the forestry. I think it's really silly, yeah.
I helped do the Christchurch gondola, and they started losing money on that, and they got a far better, more populated region and more tourists. So I look as though it might end up being a loss for them.
News this week that support services for migrants and refugees has been axed has rocked the Nelson community. Nelson-based Labour List MP Marion Street said last week she complained that the one suicide prevention specialist we had in the region would be finishing at the end of June because of cuts to funding. Then this week we have the news that both Sunny Elisina and Claire Nichols will be losing their respective jobs supporting our migrant and refugee communities. She says both of the positions are vital to the security and social stability of the Nelson region. Marion Street says the truth is that these small services are being axed on a regular basis because of their size and their comparative powerlessness. She says Nelson is a good place to live, but its vulnerable communities need support so that everyone can access opportunities to train, get jobs, own houses and raise families. The work that the Settling In and Settlement Support Services do allow all of us to live securely, she says. Marion Street says the Immigration Minister says the services shake-up was to replace current services with a National Settlement Information Service, 8 specialists around the country, and phone and email support. And earlier in the week I spoke with West Coast Tasman Green MP Kevin Haig about what he felt was the Greens' main area of focus and concern for the local region.
Well, I think it's the same kinds of issues that face the whole society. I was really interested to see yesterday that in the regular Roy Morgan poll of what the public think the big issues are, historically the economy, tends to be, sort of a vague, most important issue for most people. Actually, that's now been taken over by inequality and poverty. And I think, as I travel through the Nelson and Tasman region, I see extremes. I see extremes of wealth, but also of poverty, and the evidence is very strong that unequal societies are actually, in the end, bad for everyone. And so I think that's probably the single biggest issue. Obviously, issues around climate change and environmental sustainability of our practices, also incredibly important, and transforming the economy to be able to support the environmental and social goals that we have. So those are the priorities that we'll be bringing into this election, in fact.
The Nelson Young Parents School, catering up for 20 students and their babies, was officially opened on Friday by Prime Minister John Key. Nelson MP Nick Smith says it's one of the most innovative and positive projects that he's been involved with as a constituency MP. He says this was a community initiative that was then backed by the government, and it involves targeting resources at one of the highest risk groups in our community. Nick Smith says Nelson has had teenage parents for decades, but it's one of those problems that the system has preferred to ignore. He says while we should try to reduce the number of such young mums, we also need to ensure we wrap better services around those who do have children. Police are urging people to never let off distress flares in non-emergency situations after a false alarm on Wednesday night sparked a late-night search. Wednesday night's flare sighting resulted in police, Coast Guard, Nelson Surf Rescue, Maritime Radio, RCCNZ, including 18 volunteers, responding after a reported flare sighting off the Te Hunanui Rabbit Island area. The flare was sighted around 8 p.m, and searchers spent the next 4 hours on the water searching for a vessel in distress. After a comprehensive search and further inquiries, it was established that the flare was likely to have been fired from land in the Manako or Te Hunanui area. And now we have Labour spokesperson for broadcasting Chris Farvoy, who recently visited Mainland TV.
Hi everyone, I'm Gary Watson. Today we're talking with Chris Farvoy. He is the broadcasting spokesperson for Labour. Welcome along.
Hi Gary, how are you?
Good. What brings you to Nelson?
I've been meaning to catch up with you for a while actually.
Yeah.
So as a broadcasting spokesperson, I've just been to see the local access radio station. I've come here to see you, and then I've also got locally some people wanting to start in Abbeyfields, which have got a couple of units here.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to go and have a look at that too, because it's something that I think would benefit one of the communities that I represent.
So you've been to see Mike at Fresh FM?
Yep, saw Mike this year.
So he runs a great station, doesn't
he? He does. I've met him a couple of times now. I've got a big interest in access radio because that's where I started out my own broadcasting career.
And where was that?
I went to the broadcasting school down in Christchurch.
Okay. Paul Norris?
Paul Norris, yep.
Paul passed away, actually.
He did. He went to his funeral earlier this year. And he was a great man who instilled a lot of the good
nice guy,
journalism
lots
ethics.
Of passion.
Yeah, absolutely, especially about digital media as well, well before it even arrived here in New Zealand. But they've got themselves an access radio station which they partner up with Plains FM down there, so it's good to keep in touch with those people because they're working, like yourselves, very much at a community level in our regions, and it's really important to make sure we've got an outlet for those local voices as well.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges in broadcasting as you see it?
I think obviously the way we get our content is changing. We've had the digital switch over with television, which has obviously affected the likes of yourselves and other regional stations. The way we listen to radio is changing. You know, we're not listening to radios anymore. You can carry them on your phones all the time. And I think the way that broadcasters traditionally are changing the way that they engage with their audiences is a real, it's a generational shift there. So I think, those companies and more or less the audiences are starting to get their heads around that now. But as you will know, content is always key. If you're putting out rubbish, no one will listen to it or watch it. So I think it's still very important that we've got good content, no matter how it's delivered.
What do you see the future is for broadcasting?
Sound and vision. I think radio will always exist. I know we had a chat just before we came on here that it is going downhill. That's what they said when television turned up. But I think radio will change. I have got on my phone an app which lets me listen to whatever music I want to via TRN, the radio network, the outfit that runs News Talk ZB and ZM. So they know that listening habits are changing and they've got into that market.
But they've moved, just like we have, going on to video on demand or on Twitter, Facebook.
And they
YouTube.
have to, because eventually 95% of what we do is going to be on the internet, and that will be a combination of sound and pictures.
Thousands of Nelsonians again turned out in droves for the very popular Founders Book Fair at Queen's Birthday weekend, an annual event which is continuing this week right through until Sunday. Mainland's intern from the United States, Carly Danner, spoke with Founders Book Fair volunteer Murray Ferrant about this exciting event.
All right, so do you mind giving us a little background on this book fair?
Book fair's been going for 26 years now, and it gets bigger and better every year, thanks to the generosity of the people of Nelson who donate all these lovely books for us to sell. So we recycle them all back into the town again, so ready to get them maybe back in another couple of years' time and clip the ticket again.
So what do you do as a volunteer here?
We come in 2 mornings a week right throughout the year because the books are donated every day of the year, so we sort them into 60 different categories and put prices on them, and then finally when it's 2 weeks before the Queen's birthday, the start of the book fair, it all gets frantically busy as we set up in the 2 venues and set out all the tables and all the categories, and then just hope for the support from the people to come and buy.
And how many books do you think there are for this year?
We don't have exact number of books, but there's more than 30 tonne which we have sorted and stored throughout the year. We're lucky that we run it from the Founders Park, where we've got a great sorting room and great storage room, which enables us to run it through, run the collection service right through the whole year.
So how do you decide the prices of the books to sell?
We have a fair idea of most prices, but when we get in what I call a very tasty looking item, we check it up on the internet, AB Books, and eBay and Trade Me to see what people are asking for them, and we would then put a price from about less than half or only a third of what they were asking, because at the end of the day we're only open for 9 days, so we like to feel we're wholesaling the books rather than retailing the books.
And when's the last day people can catch the book fair?
Sunday of this week, so it's a 9-day phenomenon that every year starts on the Saturday of Queen's birthday weekend and runs right through to the next weekend, so it's 9 days and especially after the feeding frenzy of the first day, then the browsers can come in and really search and find the book they've been looking for years.
The focus on reducing the reliance on debt and lessening the impact of growth and provision of essential services on ratepayers was evident when Tasman District Councillors concluded the annual plan decision-making on Thursday. After reviewing nearly 600 submissions to the draft annual plan released for consultation in March, councillors made a number of key decisions informed by residents' wishes and concerns and staff advice. The final decision saw the council to deliver an average general rates increase of 1.7%, with targeted rates included, and a total average increase of 3.9%. On the other side of the ledger were the decisions to defer the redevelopment of the Golden Bay Service Centre in Takaka and the development of the Motueka Library. The continued provision of funding to Nelson Tasman Tourism is secure for the next year. However, the onus is now on the local industry, the council and their regional partners to come together and identify the options for a revised business model. Carter Holt Harvey had been found in breach of workers' rights in a mass drug testing at their Nelson mill. The Employment Relations Authority determined that 76 EPMU members working at the mill had their rights breached when Carter Holt Harvey imposed urine testing on a massive scale after 2 cannabis plants were found growing in the grounds outside the sawmill buildings. Ron Angel, EPMU National Industry Organiser for Timber Workers, said that this ruling was a victory for their members and a victory for common decency and respect. He said that they've had their concerns about the whole drug testing regime at Carter Holt Harvey for some time, and clearly those concerns were justified. The finding made last Friday by the ERA found that employees had been unjustifiably disadvantaged and Carter Holt Harvey had breached its duty of good faith by forcing them to undergo drug testing that was not only invasive but also illegal. The practice of drug testing company NZDDA were also brought into question. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some sports news from one of our interns and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Hi, I'm John McMillan at the Nelson Power Tool Centre. We have great prices on all the top quality brands of power tool. Tools and equipment at our showroom 146 Tahunanu Drive in Nelson. The Nelson Power Tool Centre, the specialists that stand behind and service what we sell.
Hi. Gus Bulens of Gustav's Clothing for Men on Trafalgar Street. I'd like to invite all the people of Nelson Tasman and international and local visitors to come and check out our brand new refurbished store, which is now chock full of the latest international and New Zealand brands. From France, Lacoste; from the UK, Ben Sherman; RM Williams; from Sweden, Gant; from the US, Calvin Klein jeans; and from New Zealand, Rembrandt suits, jackets and trousers; Cutler, Berlin and Snowy Fine merino knitwear. So come on into Gustav's on Trafalgar Street and we'll look after you.
FAV Mobile Solutions are the scooter, walker and wheelchair specialists for the Nelson region. Call in and see the huge range available. Take one for a free test drive and pick up your free booklet guide. They also provide a rescue service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. Come in and see Robin and the friendly team at FAV Mobile Solutions in the Richmond Free Car Park opposite the Old Town Hall.
Discover the Belgrove Tavern just 20 minutes south of Richmond on State Highway 6 for meals, functions, weddings, barbecues and garden bar with lots of room for kids. Come and see us.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $2 $220. And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979. So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Hi, my name's Ian Mortimer. Mortimer Auto Upholstery is your one-stop shop for all your upholstery needs. We do car and boat interiors, boat canopies, ute tonneau covers, canvas and PVC fabrication. Call in and see us in Oxford Mews, 72 Oxford Street, Richmond.
Tasman Rugby Union news has come in regarding Makos loose forwards Liam Squire and Tavita Kolomatangi. They have both been re-signed with the Chiefs for the next 2 seasons. Chiefs coach Dave Rennie said, "They are both quality young men who have impressed both on and off the field. We love their attitude, their work ethic, and their contribution to our culture." Meanwhile, Leon McDonald, who is a veteran of 56 All Blacks tests, are facing a new challenge as he and fellow coaches Chris Boyd and Scott Robertson will be working with New Zealand under-20 side to bring home a World Cup title on home ground in the IRB Junior World Championship being held for the first time at home this year in New Zealand. The Kiwi team opened their IRB World Championship campaign against Western Samoa at North Harbour Stadium this week. The New Zealand under-20 squad comprises of a number of players with a range of experience. Blues backs Simon Hickey and Tavita Lee, Crusaders squad member Mitchell Drummond, formerly from Nelson, and Anton Leinert Brown with the Chiefs have all had taste of Super Rugby and are expected to show the way, while several others have made ITM Cup experiences. Although he is primarily involved with the senior players in the Tasman Makos set up over the past 4 years. Former All Black Leon McDonald, who retired from playing in 2010, has had experience with the younger level of the sport, especially through the involvement with the NBC First 15. For him, working with the lower age group hasn't presented him with too many coaching challenges.
Nelson Harness Racing Club Winter Cup Festival, Friday the 6th to Sunday the 8th of June. Although racing is a very important part of the weekend, it's not just about the horses. Bring the whole family for a fun day out. Free entry. Nelson Mountain Bike Club 6-hour midwinter breakout is on at the Kaiteriteri Mountain Bike Park. That's on Sunday the 22nd of June. And the Nelson Mountain Bike Club will be holding its annual 6-hour midwinter breakout mountain bike event in conjunction with the Kaiteriteri Mountain Bike Park, starting at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, phone 027 531 3280 or you can email wayne.paul@gmail.com. Nelson Underage presents Broods. That's Saturday the 21st of June. Georgia Knott from Brood says they're looking forward to their hometown gig, which comes hot on the heels of the band supporting Ellie Goulding's arena tour of Australia and New Zealand. All tickets are $15 plus service fees. Tickets from Theatre Royal, Box Office and Ticket Direct, phone 03548 3840 or 0800 224 224. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thanks for joining us. We'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
The majority of information in our life comes to us through our vision. With only one set of eyes to last our lifetime, it's important that you look after them. For over 20 years, Carrington Eye Care has led the way in providing the Nelson Tasman region with professional eye care. Our team are committed to providing you and your family with the highest standard of eye care. As part of this commitment at Carrington Eye Care, we recommend Crizal lenses. Crizal is a revolutionary lens which repels dust and fingerprints. This means it's easier to clean and stays cleaner longer. Visit us at our Nelson, Richmond practices and ask about our Crizal satisfaction guarantee.
Hi, I'm John McMillan at the Nelson Power Tool Centre. We have great prices on all the top quality brands of power tool. Tools and equipment at our showroom 146 Tahunanui Drive in Nelson. The Nelson Power Tool Centre, the specialists that stand behind and service what we sell.
To be healthy.
Lifestyle, diet and exercise, complemented with quality supplements, can provide you the insurance vital for your natural health and well-being. With over 10 years professional experience making some of New Zealand's most trusted nutritional supplement brands, visit the O to Be Healthy factory outlet in Wakatu Industrial Estate. Over 200 supplements to choose from, free on-site parking, no middleman.
To be healthy. Caring for you naturally.
Waimea Telecommunications, specializing in free-to-air digital television, internet broadband connections, telephone and telecommunications systems. Call Julian Toon at Waimea Telecommunications on 544-4203. Nelson Tire Center, great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer, all types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
From Cresswell's on Market Street, we've fitted footwear for all seasons, all reasons. For summer times in the Sounds, for solid support on the sidelines, for social events around town, for good times round the grapevines. That's why at Cresswell's we believe in fitting footwear correctly so you get the best out of quality shoes and sandals and can then get the best out of life.
Cresswell Special Service, it's unique, helping keep Marlborough on its feet for over 60 years.
If you have a complaint about any program on Mainland TV, you can write to Mainland Broadcasting, Box 595 Nelson, or contact the Broadcasting Standards Authority.